Meet Jack, a man with calloused hands and a heart of gold, who poured his skill into creating a flight of freedom for young Lily. Their story is beautiful, but it takes a dramatic turn when a fleet of black SUVs rolls into their peaceful town, bringing with them an offer that could change Jack's life forever. Intrigued? This is the story of a simple act that sparked something extraordinary. Let us know where you're tuning in from in the comments. If you enjoy stories of transformation, hit subscribe for more. Let's get started. In the tranquil embrace of Crescent Valley, a town where life unfolded with a gentle rhythm, lived Jack Archer. A man of 49, Jack was a humble mechanic, his days filled with the honest labor of wrenching and repairing. His hands, calloused and strong, told the silent story of years spent coaxing life back into tired machines. Jack was a craftsman, a man who understood the language of gears and engines. One day, a new story began to weave itself into the fabric of his quiet existence. He learned of a young girl named Lily. Bright and brave, Lily navigated the world from a wheelchair, yet her spirit soared with an unyielding dream, to touch the sky, to feel the unbound freedom of flight. Lily yearned to dance among the clouds. Jack, a man with a good heart hidden beneath a gruff exterior, was deeply moved by Lily's unwavering spirit. He saw not her limitations, but the fierce spark within her. And so, with a quiet determination, Jack embarked on a project. In his small workshop, surrounded by the comforting scent of oil and metal, he began to meticulously craft a small airplane. Each piece was shaped with care, each connection made with precision, all for the sake of a young girl's dream of taking to the skies. Word travels fast in a close-knit place like Crescent Valley. Soon, whispers of Jack's endeavor began to drift through the town like the scent of honeysuckle on a summer breeze. Folks talked about the quiet mechanic down on Elm Street who was building an airplane, not for himself, but for little Lily in her wheelchair. There were curious glances cast toward his workshop, a mixture of wonder and perhaps a touch of disbelief in the eyes of the townsfolk. Then came the day when the final bolt was tightened, the last wire connected. The little aircraft, a testament to Jack's skill and his generous heart, stood complete. It wasn't fancy, just solid and true, built with the same care he'd give to fixing a neighbor's tractor. The moment Lily was gently helped into the cockpit, a hush fell over the small gathering that had assembled. You could hear the chirping of crickets and the distant hum of the evening. Then, the engine sputtered, coughed, and with a reassuring roar, came to life. A wave of emotion washed over Lily's face. Jack watched, his own heart swelling, as her eyes lit up like fireflies on a warm night. Pure, unadulterated joy radiated from her. Her dream, the one she held so tightly, was now a tangible reality, humming there in front of her. Jack felt a profound sense of satisfaction, a quiet pride in knowing that his own two hands had made this happen. To see that radiant smile, to witness that pure happiness, was a reward in itself, more valuable than any paycheck. He'd simply wanted to do something kind, to bring a little bit of magic into the life of a brave young girl. But little did Jack know, this simple act of kindness, this heartfelt gift, was about to set in motion a series of events that would ripple far beyond the quiet borders of Crescent Valley, and ultimately change the course of his own life in ways he could never have imagined. The hum of that little engine wasn't just lifting Lily's spirits, it was unknowingly signaling the start of a brand new chapter for Jack too. The crisp morning air carried the scent of freshly cut grass and brewing coffee, a typical start to a day in Crescent Valley. Jack was in his workshop, the familiar clang of metal on metal a comforting sound as he meticulously polished his tools. Each wrench, each screwdriver, was treated with care, a habit born of years of working with machinery. Then, the ordinary rhythm of the morning was broken. A sleek procession of black SUVs, gleaming under the morning sun, rolled to a stop outside his modest workshop. These vehicles looked out of place, like dark, polished stones dropped onto a bed of gravel. In a town where pickup trucks and the occasional sedan were the norm, this sudden appearance of high-end SUVs sent a ripple of curiosity through the quiet neighborhood. Mrs. Henderson from across the street paused her gardening, her brow furrowed with intrigue. Old Mr. Abernathy, who always seemed to be sitting on his porch swing, squinted with undisguised interest. From the lead SUV emerged a group of men and women dressed in sharp, tailored suits. They moved with a quiet confidence, an air of purpose that felt foreign to the easygoing pace of Crescent Valley. At the forefront of this group was a tall man, his bearing dignified, his eyes sharp and observant. He exuded an aura of quiet authority. Jack leaned against his workbench, a sense of unease settling in his gut. These weren't the kind of folks who usually stopped by his dusty workshop looking for an oil change or a tire rotation. There was something about their demeanor, their expensive vehicles, that hinted at something more significant, something outside the ordinary. He couldn't shake the feeling that the calm predictability of his life was about to be disrupted. As the tall man began to walk towards the open door of the workshop, Jack braced himself, a quiet anticipation hanging in the air. He knew, with a certainty that settled deep in his bones, that something extraordinary was about to unfold. The tall man stepped into the dim light of Jack's workshop, his eyes taking in the organized clutter of tools and spare parts. He extended a hand, his grip firm and direct. "Mr. Archer," he said, his voice smooth and resonant. "My name is Kane. We've been following your work for some time now." Jack, a man of few words, simply nodded, wiping his hands on a rag. He waited, a silent question in his gaze. Mr. Kane gestured towards the corner of the workshop, where a slightly dusty photograph of Lily, beaming in the cockpit of her little airplane, was tacked to the wall. "That aircraft you built for young Lily," Mr. Kane continued, his tone thoughtful, "it's more than just a gift, Mr. Archer. It's an indication. An indication of a particular kind of ingenuity, a dedication to precision that doesn't come around every day." He paused, his gaze meeting Jack's directly. "My colleagues and I," he explained, gesturing slightly to the well-dressed individuals who had followed him into the workshop, "we have a vision. A project of significant importance. And we believe your expertise, the very skill you poured into that little plane, is exactly what we need." A flicker of surprise crossed Jack's face. He was a mechanic, a fixer of things. What could these polished city folks possibly want with him? Mr. Kane seemed to read his unspoken question. "We're not here for a tune-up, Mr. Archer," he said with a hint of a smile. "We're here to offer you an opportunity. An opportunity that will not only recognize your kindness to Lily but has the potential to change your life." He let those words hang in the air for a moment, allowing their weight to settle. "We believe you have a unique talent, Mr. Archer, and we'd like to bring that talent to something much bigger." The air in the small workshop felt charged, the ordinary sounds of the town outside fading into a distant hum. Jack stood there, the scent of oil and metal suddenly tinged with the possibility of something new, something extraordinary. Mr. Kane's words hung in the air, a tantalizing blend of the unexpected and the intriguing. He went on to elaborate, painting a picture that slowly began to take shape in Jack's mind. The project, as Mr. Kane described it, was cutting edge, involving advancements far beyond the internal combustion engines and hydraulic systems Jack was accustomed to. It was about pushing boundaries, about creating something truly innovative. "We're looking for someone with your hands-on expertise, Mr. Archer," Mr. Kane explained, his voice earnest. "Someone who understands how things work at a fundamental level, who can bring a craftsman's eye to complex engineering challenges." He spoke of intricate designs, of materials Jack had only read about, of a scale of ambition that made Jack's small airplane project seem, well, small. The team was prepared to compensate Jack handsomely for his skills and dedication. The figures Mr. Kane mentioned were far beyond anything Jack had ever earned. But the offer wasn't just about the money. There was a deeper element to their proposition, one that resonated with Jack's quiet sense of responsibility. "We also understand your connection with Lily," Mr. Kane said, his gaze softening slightly. "Should you choose to join us, we would ensure her future is secure. We would provide for her continued well-being, ensuring she has access to everything she needs to thrive and pursue even more of her dreams." This part of the offer struck a chord deep within Jack. He had always worried about Lily, about her challenges and her future. The thought of being able to provide for her, to ensure her comfort and happiness, was a powerful motivator. He looked around his small workshop, at the familiar tools and the projects he had tinkered with over the years. His life here in Crescent Valley was simple, predictable. This offer represented a leap into the unknown, a chance to be part of something significant, something that could not only change his life but also secure Lily's. The weight of the decision settled upon him, a profound choice between the quiet comfort of his current life and the exhilarating, yet uncertain, path that lay ahead. In the blink of an eye, the predictable rhythm of Jack's life began to shift. One moment he was a quiet mechanic in Crescent Valley, the next he was contemplating an offer that felt plucked from the pages of a thrilling novel. He'd gone to bed the same unassuming Jack Archer, but he awoke to a world brimming with unforeseen possibilities and a hint of underlying intrigue. He accepted Mr. Kane's offer. The prospect of working on something groundbreaking, coupled with the security it promised for Lily, was too compelling to ignore. The transition was swift. Within days, Jack found himself leaving the familiar comfort of his workshop for a world of sleek, modern facilities and conversations filled with technical jargon he was just beginning to grasp. He was introduced to a team of brilliant engineers and scientists, individuals who spoke a language of equations and prototypes. Initially, Jack felt a bit like a fish out of water, his calloused hands a stark contrast to their manicured ones. But his innate understanding of mechanics, his intuitive grasp of how things fit together and functioned, quickly earned their respect. They saw in him a practical genius, a problem solver who could bridge the gap between theory and reality. As Jack delved deeper into the project, he began to understand its scope and potential impact. It wasn't just about building something, it was about pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. There was an air of secrecy surrounding the endeavor, hushed conversations and secure labs, which added an element of excitement and a touch of danger to his newfound life. He learned that his act of kindness towards Lily, that selfless desire to see her dream take flight, had inadvertently opened a door to this extraordinary new chapter. He had simply wanted to make a difference in one young girl's life, and in doing so, he had stumbled upon an opportunity to make a difference on a much grander scale. The quiet mechanic from Crescent Valley was now part of something significant, something that held the potential to change lives in ways he was only beginning to comprehend. The rewards of his generosity were proving to be far more profound than he could have ever imagined. Jack's decision to embrace the unknown marked a profound turning point in his life. He was no longer just the dependable mechanic tinkering away in his Crescent Valley workshop. He had stepped into a larger narrative, one filled with innovation and purpose. He found himself working alongside individuals who recognized the value of his unique skills and his inherently good nature. The project he was now a part of was indeed groundbreaking. He contributed his practical expertise to complex engineering challenges, often seeing solutions that the more theoretically inclined minds had overlooked. His hands, once solely familiar with wrenches and grease, now manipulated advanced materials and contributed to designs that pushed the boundaries of technology. He found a new sense of purpose, a satisfaction that went beyond simply fixing what was broken. He was now helping to build something new, something with the potential for real impact. True to their word, Mr. Kane and his team ensured Lily's well-being. She had access to the best care and resources, allowing her to thrive. Jack saw her more often, her spirit undimmed, her dreams now nurtured by the opportunities his new position afforded. The joy on her face was a constant reminder of why he had embarked on this unexpected journey. The financial rewards were significant, providing Jack and Lily with a security they had never known. But the true reward was the sense of fulfillment, the knowledge that his kindness had not only brought joy to Lily but had also opened a door for him to contribute to something meaningful. He had sown a seed of compassion, and it had blossomed into opportunities he could never have envisioned. He interacted with influential people, individuals who operated on a global scale. Yet, through it all, Jack remained grounded, never forgetting his roots in the quiet simplicity of Crescent Valley. He carried with him the memory of Lily's radiant smile in the cockpit of her little airplane, a constant reminder of the power of a single act of kindness. His life had been transformed, not by seeking personal gain, but by the simple desire to make a difference in the life of another. Jack's story beautifully illustrates a powerful truth: kindness rarely goes unnoticed. Sometimes, the most selfless acts can set in motion a chain of events leading to rewards beyond imagination. Jack's life is a testament to the idea that when you help others without expecting anything in return, the universe often finds a way to reciprocate that generosity in ways you could never predict. His journey, from a humble mechanic to a contributor on a significant project, all began with a simple desire to make a young girl's dream come true. He didn't seek recognition or reward, his motivation was purely altruistic. Yet, that single act of compassion rippled outwards, not only bringing joy to Lily but also opening an unexpected and transformative path for Jack himself. The tale of Jack Archer serves as a gentle reminder that good deeds, no matter how small they may seem, eventually find their way back to you, often when you least expect it. It underscores the profound impact of empathy and the unforeseen blessings that can arise from a giving heart. That concludes the story. What do you think? What was your favorite part of the video? Share your thoughts in the comments. Also, don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful or entertaining, and subscribe so you never miss out on our future uploads.